Hello, Pringles lovers! Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how one of the world's most recognizable snacks is produced. Known for their iconic curved shape, crisp texture, and stacked packaging, Pringles have captured the hearts and taste buds of snack lovers worldwide. But what goes on inside the factory to achieve that signature shape, consistent crunch, and uniform flavor every time? You know, I once tried to make my own Pringles at home. Let's just say I ended up with a kitchen full of half-baked Frisbees instead. In this video, we'll trace the entire journey, starting with the raw ingredients that form the base of each chip, moving through the cutting-edge machines that shape and cook them, and ending with the high-speed lines that package them in those famous tubes. By the end, you'll have a whole new appreciation for this globally popular potato-based snack. Pringles first launched in the late 1960s, aiming to solve common potato chip complaints: grease, broken chips, and stale corners in half-filled bags. Their cylindrical can, uniform shape, and resealable lid made them stand out. This innovation quickly caught on, and now millions of tubes are produced daily, shipped around the globe, and enjoyed in countless flavors. Despite branding them as potato crisps, the process differs from traditional sliced potato chips. Instead, Pringles rely on a uniquely formulated dough to ensure that distinctive, stackable shape. When Procter & Gamble first introduced Pringles, the brand's advertising heavily emphasized the neatness of the product. For example, they showcased how the chips could be stacked on top of each other without leaving a messy, greasy residue. Many snack enthusiasts at the time were impressed by how few chips arrived broken, which was a significant improvement over standard bag chips. Unlike classic potato chips made from thinly sliced whole potatoes, Pringles begin with dehydrated potato flakes. These flakes often come from processing plants that cook, mash, and dry actual potatoes, reducing them into a powder-like substance. This approach allows for precise control over texture and flavor. In addition to potato flakes, a typical Pringles recipe includes wheat starch or flour, vegetable oils, salt, and seasonings. Exact ratios are proprietary, carefully designed to achieve the perfect dough consistency and that signature Pringle crispiness. Some factories receive shipments of these flakes in large industrial bags or bulk containers. Workers must test each batch for moisture levels, color, and freshness before approving it for use in the dough. If flakes are found to be too moist or clumped together, they might cause inconsistencies in the dough, leading to defective chips later. Factory workers or automated systems weigh out the correct proportions of potato flakes, starches, and seasonings. These dry ingredients are then transferred to large industrial mixers, where water and sometimes vegetable oils are added. Inside high-capacity mixers, powerful blades knead and blend everything into a pliable dough. Sensors measure moisture content and consistency in real time. If dough is too dry, chips may be brittle and uneven. Too wet, and they'll be heavy or oily. The factory's quality control ensures the dough emerges consistent day after day. Some modern Pringles factories use cutting-edge computer systems that adjust water flow rates or mixing speeds within seconds if the sensors detect an imbalance in the dough. On average, a large mixer can handle hundreds of kilograms of dough per batch, and each batch is tested for uniformity before moving to the next stage. Once the dough is mixed, it's transferred to a sheeter. Similar to rolling out cookie dough, the sheeter flattens and compresses the dough into a thin, continuous sheet. This sheet often travels on conveyor belts under precisely calibrated rollers. Machines continuously monitor thickness, adjusting roller pressure to maintain a uniform gauge, often just a couple of millimeters thick. Achieving precise thickness is vital as it affects cooking time, crispiness, and final shape. If the sheet is even slightly thicker in certain areas, those chips may come out undercooked or retain too much moisture. This can lead to uneven texture or potential breakage during packaging. Factories sometimes conduct random spot checks using laser measurement tools to verify that the dough remains at the correct thickness across its entire width. Unlike freeform potato chips, Pringles use a die-cut approach. A large rotating cutter stamps out oval discs from the moving dough sheet, each disc sized to fit perfectly in the distinctive tube. These discs are then transferred onto a separate conveyor. To minimize waste, leftover dough scraps are collected and reworked back into the batch. This closed-loop process ensures efficiency and consistent dough usage, reducing production costs and limiting raw material waste. In some factories, the dough scraps are automatically redirected into another mixing stage, where they're rehydrated if necessary and seamlessly integrated back into the main supply. By recycling these scraps, the manufacturer reduces overall costs, and the process is more environmentally friendly as fewer raw materials are wasted. Pringles' characteristic saddle shape, technically called a hyperbolic paraboloid, sets them apart. After cutting, the dough discs pass through a mold or shaping conveyor. This curved surface gently presses each disc into the Pringles shape before it hits the fryer. This step is critical. The shape is integral to their stackability, packaging, and trademark aesthetic. Factories fine-tune these molds to ensure the curve is exact. If the curve is off, chips might not nest together properly or fit in the can neatly. The hyperbolic paraboloid design helps with stress distribution. It makes the chip less prone to breaking when stacked or when pressure is applied during shipping. In some promotional campaigns, the Pringles brand has highlighted the perfect curve that holds dips and flavors better. At this stage, raw-shaped discs enter a continuous fryer, a long heated oil bath set to a specific temperature. Each disc is fried for a short, carefully timed interval, often under a minute. This high-temperature dunk rapidly removes moisture, cooking the dough into a rigid, crispy chip. To prevent excess oil absorption, strong jets of hot air may blow across the chips once they exit the fryer, draining away extra oil. The result, a crisp, uniform texture with less greasiness than standard potato chips. Frequent oil quality checks are crucial. Overused oil can affect the flavor and color of the chips, potentially giving them a darker hue or off taste. In some facilities, continuous filtration systems remove crumbs or debris to keep the frying oil as clean as possible. As Pringles exit the fryer, factory sensors measure color and moisture. Chips that are too dark or too oily could indicate fryer temperature deviations. Automated cameras detect and remove odd shapes or burnt edges. Operators also do taste tests to confirm flavor consistency. Chips often drop in temperature as they pass along cooling conveyors. This stabilizes them before seasoning is applied, ensuring the seasoning sticks properly and doesn't degrade from heat. Many large-scale snack producers maintain small taste test labs near the production line. A rotating panel of trained tasters evaluates texture. Is the crunch just right? Flavor? Is the seasoning balanced? And aroma. These panelists also compare random samples to gold standard chips, which serve as a reference for color, crunch, and flavor profile. Once cooled to the right temperature, chips move through seasoning drums. Inside these large rotating cylinders, fine powders ranging from classic salted or sour cream and onion to bold barbecue or exotic international spices tumble with the chips. A gentle but thorough coat clings to the chip surface, thanks to a light oil residue left from frying and static charge. Flavor scientists meticulously develop seasonings. Salt levels, spice blends, and specialized coatings are designed to release intense taste upon contact with your tongue. Achieving uniform coverage ensures each chip in the tube delivers the same flavor punch. Pringles often partners with food scientists who study flavor perception and mouthfeel. They might run consumer tests where participants give feedback on new seasoning blends. Some flavors may include taste enhancers like monosodium glutamate, MSG, which helps deliver a more robust, savory experience. Before packaging, random samples are taken for sensory evaluation. A taste panel might rate crispness, flavor intensity, and mouthfeel. Laboratory tests measure moisture content. Too high can soften chips, while too low might cause them to shatter easily. Consistency is crucial. One of Pringles' defining features is that every chip in the can looks and tastes nearly identical. Metal detectors and X-ray machines scan for foreign objects. If a contamination or mechanical issue occurs, entire batches can be flagged and rechecked. Specialized equipment measures the force needed to break a chip, which quantifies crispness. This data is tracked to ensure each production run matches Pringles' established standards. Factories also maintain strict guidelines on allergen cross-contamination, especially when switching between flavors like cheese blends or spicy coatings. After seasoning, chips line up in neat stacks. Some factories use robotic or mechanical stackers that gently group chips in precise counts. Others rely on angled conveyors that naturally nest chips one on top of another due to their shape. Operators keep an eye on alignment. If chips aren't properly nested, packaging could jam or final tubes might look sloppy, damaging brand perception. The iconic uniform stack is a hallmark of Pringles, so careful handling is key. The efficiency of stacking contributes to the brand's ability to ship more product with less breakage. Many factories measure tube fill rate to see how many chips per stack fit perfectly in the can. Some lines can handle thousands of chips per minute, so even minor misalignment could cause big slowdowns. Pringles' tall cardboard tube with a foil-lined interior and plastic lid is nearly as famous as the chips themselves. Packaging lines rapidly load each neat stack of chips into tubes. A metal bottom seals one end while a plastic lid caps the other. It's a design that helps protect chips from breakage and maintain freshness. Automated canning machinery runs at high speed, capable of filling hundreds of cans per minute. Labels and branding details like flavor names, nutritional info, and barcodes are printed on the tube exterior. Some factories produce the tubes themselves, while others source pre-manufactured tubes for efficient assembly. The snug fit of the chips inside the tube reduces the risk of them rattling around, which can lead to cracks or breakage. Although the tubes are more costly to produce than standard plastic or foil bags, the payoff is a distinctive brand identity that consumers recognize instantly. Once sealed, tubes proceed to bundling areas where they're packed into boxes or stacked on pallets. Climate-controlled storage helps maintain crispness until shipping. Pringles are distributed via truck, rail, or shipping containers to warehouses and retail outlets worldwide. The protective tube design means minimal breakage compared to bagged chips. This durability partially explains why Pringles can reach distant markets in pristine condition. In some regions, special temperature controls ensure that extremely hot or humid climates don't affect the chip's crispness. Pringles often appear in airport kiosks worldwide, demonstrating how well their packaging preserves quality over long travel distances. While classic flavors like original, sour cream and onion, and barbecue dominate, Pringles constantly expands its menu with local specialties. Factories in different countries produce region-specific tastes: wasabi in Japan, paprika in parts of Europe, and masala spices in Asia. Limited edition runs draw excitement from fans who collect rare flavors and packaging. R&D teams fine-tune new recipes, balancing brand identity with local palates. They also test consumer acceptance, ensuring new flavors stand out in an increasingly competitive snack market. In China, there have been unique flavors like hot and spicy Szechuan peppercorn variants. In the United Kingdom, prawn cocktail is a novelty flavor that has gained popularity. Limited edition flavors sometimes come with special tube designs or promotional tie-ins, such as partnerships with popular movies or video game franchises. The Pringles tube, an amalgam of cardboard, foil lining, metal base, and plastic lid, offers robust protection but complicates recycling in some regions. Environmental groups have pushed for more easily recyclable solutions. Brands like Pringles explore alternative materials or revised designs to reduce environmental impact. Factories strive for water and energy efficiency, reducing carbon footprints. Leftover dough scraps and oil can be reprocessed or reused. Continuous improvements in raw material sourcing and waste management aim for a more eco-friendly future. Some experimental Pringles tubes have replaced the foil lining with a more recyclable barrier. However, it must still protect against moisture and preserve the chip's freshness. In certain pilot programs, the plastic lid has been modified to use less plastic or recycled plastic content. Open a fresh tube and that pop signals a sealed environment. Slide out a perfectly curved chip and note the uniform shape, golden color, and distinct aroma. The chip's first bite should be a firm, audible crunch, a testament to carefully calibrated dough, frying temperature, and moisture control. The flavor coating bursts on your taste buds with each bite. It's the culmination of countless production steps performed by both advanced machinery and skilled human oversight, designed to ensure every tube meets the Pringles standard. Try opening a new tube of Pringles and compare its crispness to a half-open bag of regular potato chips you've had for a few days. You'll likely notice how well the tube and resealable lid keep the chips fresher, longer. This practical test showcases the effectiveness of the Pringles packaging approach. We've followed the creation of Pringles, from dehydrated potato flakes to the iconic stacked chips in a tube, exploring the specialized dough, precise shaping, quick frying, uniform seasoning, and stacked packaging that define this globally beloved snack. Each step in the factory is optimized for consistency, flavor, and shape, ensuring that when you pop open a can of Pringles, you know exactly what to expect: a familiar, crunchy delight. If you found this behind-the-scenes tour insightful, consider subscribing for more deep dives into how everyday products are made. Feel free to share your thoughts or favorite Pringles flavors in the comments. And next time you stack a few of these curved chips, remember the remarkable process that brings them from dough to that distinctive tube, one crunchy bite at a time.